And I'm just sticking to the friendly, although so punishingly difficult red. Like yesterday was so hard. Hello, hello, hello. We are in Cwmcarn, South Wales. As you can hear in my voice, I am ill. I have been ill for 5 days now. Thanks Mallorca plane ride, that serves me right for flying. So I'm not feeling fantastic. I haven't slept very well for quite a few days because my throat has been so painful. But I think I'm on the up. I'm certainly feeling a lot better now I'm in the beautiful South Wales. It's mizzling, obviously. It's quite windy, but we're now sheltered in the valley. So we're about to ride an unpronounceable trail name. I'm gonna say it's probably pronounced Titch Trail, but my Welsh language skills are lacking. So we are at Cwmcarn Woods. I've been to Afan before, which is a few valleys over, and we were going to go to Park Wales, but then I had a recommendation from a friend who lives really close to here that Cwmcarn at the moment is going to be the best and just an amazing ride. So there are 2 red trails here, both which are quite long. This one I think is 17 kilometers. And the next one, which we're going to do tomorrow, is going to be 18 kilometers. And I'm just really excited because I love red mountain bike trails in the UK and I love South Wales. So we're about to ride. I cannot film, obviously, while I'm riding, like handheld, because that would be insane. I don't want to end up in hospital. So instead I'm going to have my GoPro on a chest strap so you can still see how cool the trail is. Yeah, let's get ready to go. Also, hilariously, I don't need to tell you this, but the parking here is £1 for 2 hours, which is adorable. Let me give you a little bit of extra context about my mountain biking history. I have been riding off-road for a long time because I raced cyclocross when I was a child for many years. And then I started doing a bit more mountain biking down here in Devon about 8 or 9 years ago. I now live quite close to a mountain bike park, like a curated, trailed mountain bike park with graded trails, things like that. And I ride the red there all the time, like I love it. And I've been to Afan, which is in South Wales, not that far from Cwmcarn where I am in this video. And I've ridden the reds there and love them, they're so great. Oh my god, I could ride there forever. So when I came to Cwmcarn and rode the red, I just kind of assumed that it would be a very similar situation. Now bear in mind, this first trail, the Tuck Trail that we did, we had just been in the car for 3 hours. So like sat down, doing nothing for 3 solid hours, got out of the car and then immediately went on the trails, which I do not recommend doing. But I cannot describe how difficult the beginning of this trail is. In fact, it's the beginning of both the trails in this video because they have the same beginning. It is just, you start in this valley and it just is an uphill grind, and I don't mind an uphill grind on a fire track or even like a single track that is rideable. But the uphill grind on this one was so rocky that it was just crazy. Like going downhill would have been even a struggle for me, and it was so wet as well, so the rocks were really slippery. Rocks are big and quite jagged, wet, pointy, your tyre just slips straight off them. And to add to that the fact that this is autumn, so there is a really thick layer of slidey, squidgy leaves overlaying them as well. On the Turk Trail, you get to the top of this section and there are the route splits, so you can follow Airstream 1 or Airstream 2. It was really misty at this point, so we decided just to do Airstream 1, I think. I'm actually not sure. And then when we got to the bottom of it, we took a hard right because I didn't see any other trail marker, so that was the way the trail naturally went. And the Airstream that we did first was amazing. I really loved it. So we took a hard right at the bottom and followed the trail, and then we eventually wound up here back at the top of the Airstreams, completely accidentally. We did not intend on doing both of them because we were getting quite tired, but we ended up at the top anyway, so I was actually really pleased about that because the other Airstream that we hadn't done before was even better and I absolutely loved it. So when you get to the top, my favourite Airstream was the one on the left-hand side, not the right-hand side one, although that one is really, really good as well. Day 2 of cycling at Cwmcarn, and we're doing the Carfell Trail today, which is longer and more elevation gain than yesterday. I'm still ill, didn't sleep very well, but it's going to be fine. It's great, it's lovely, it's quiet, it's a Tuesday in half term, but it's still really quiet here. There are a few fans, and I've seen some full suspension electric mountain bikes already go out, full face helmets, all that kind of stuff. I'm assuming those kinds of people are on like there's quite a lot of like natural off-piste and black runs here, and I'm just sticking to the friendly, although so punishingly difficult, red. Like yesterday was so hard, so much harder than the red that I'm used to riding down Dartmoor. But I'm just going to take it slow today. I mean, I took it slow yesterday, but it is really nice. It was really beautiful here. But because it's autumn, the trails are just covered in really thick, slippery leaves. There's a lot of thick, slippery roots and a lot of thick, slippery rocks as well. So it's really difficult. It's quite an effort, but it is really fun. Let's go. This is what my bike looks like from yesterday. Like I said before, it's the same uphill grind at the beginning of the trail, and then they finally split, and then the Carfell Trail goes up another hill/mountain to the other side of the valley. There were certainly sections of this one that I found really difficult to begin with, but I was in general much more raring to go than I had been the day before. I don't know if it's because I obviously hadn't sat in a car for 3 hours this time, or just because my body was still like primed for riding from the ride on the day before, but my head was more in the game. I was just enjoying it from the off a lot more, and I guess maybe I knew what to expect. I knew how hard it was going to be, so I was just in a much better mind frame to do it. But the Carfell Trail felt like it had a lot more variation from the off. It didn't feel like it climbed a lot, but there were like interludes in that climb where it evened out a little bit more and did a lot more switchbacks and things like that. The day before we'd seen this amazing switchback down like on that mountainside, and we saw it from our mountainside, but it turned out when we actually got there that was an uphill section of the Carfell Trail, not a downhill section, which was a shame. This section through the woods was so beautiful. I'd read about it before because it was a commute highlight, and basically you go through this evergreen like pine forest, and then there's just these stands of really old trees. I'm not sure what they are, but it was absolutely incredible. They're all like really twisted. They look completely out of place. This whole trail though was really, really beautiful, and I was in much better head frame. So while it was a bit longer, and I think the elevation gain was a little bit more than the Turk Trail, I just love this one so much. That was the Turk and the Carfell Trail in Cwmcarn Forest in South Wales. I highly recommend riding those trails, they're so beautiful. But if you come from a blue to red mountain biking background, then just be aware that the reds here are still reds. Like, there's nothing super technical and really, really difficult. There are some lines that you can take that are much harder, but there's always a B line that is doable for most people who are mountain bikers. But just go into it remembering that the uphill start is long and painful and difficult, and maybe warm up first. That would probably be a great idea. Thanks for coming with me on this one, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.